Among the important principles in microeconomics is the principle of substitution. What it suggests is that there is a strong incentive for economic agents to substitute cheaper good, service, factor, production, asset or any other item of economic value which is more expensive for the item which is relatively less expensive. The measurement is in relative terms and not in absolute terms. This principle has significance for many areas of public policy. In India, we have often wondered why there has been not as much growth in employment of labor in an economy which is a labor surplus economy, while we have been doing reasonably well in more capital intensive industries. An important part of the answer is that in India various types of rules, regulations and the other labor market policies have made labor relatively more expensive, while we have tended to subsidize capital through policies that desire encouragement of investments. So as the labor becomes relatively more expensive, capital is substituted for it. We have also wondered why in India as compared to rest of Asia has the FDI not come into labor intensive manufacturing but have been more evident in services and in areas where capital intensity is relatively higher. Again, the answer is similar, that the cost of labor has been such in India that in relative terms, more capital intensive modes of activities are more profitable. We see this issue also arising in areas of tax policies and import duties. Currently, one of the public policy areas of discussion is our very high gold imports. The estimates are that we may be importing gold worth 2%, nearly 2% of GDP. Now, if the gold imports are so high, how do we address the reduction in gold import issue? Some have suggested that we increase the excise tax, which was just increased from 2 to 4%, further to 6 to 8%. Now, what that would mean is that if the tax on gold is increased, that would tend to give incentives for individuals to engage in a form of activity which tends to avoid or evade the excise taxes which are levied on the official channels of gold. So this could give rise to smuggling or gives rise to some other ways of operating. The greater the difference between the market value of the particular good and the value through taxes and other means is sought to increase, the greater the differential between the two, the greater the incentive to undertake activities which are not very efficient or equitable. So we need to keep in mind this, that the economic agents have an option to substitute relatively cheaper ways of doing things as compared to relatively more expensive ways, and the public policies should then not provide the kind of incentives which are counterproductive to our resource endowments or to the desired aims of public